Today is a special day because not only are we talking about marriage, but we're also talking about money, specifically how to manage money in a marriage. And regardless if you're about to get married, newly married, or have been married for a while, I believe you'll find value in this conversation as I share 8 tips to help you manage money in a marriage. So if that is of interest to you, then let's kick things off with my first tip. Give yourselves a financial checkup. There are so many couples that avoid talking about money both before marriage and within marriage. And having a lack of communication around this is risky. So it's vital for both the health of your relationship and your finances that you talk about it. Get to know each other's financial situation, such as how much debt you each have, credit cards, your spending habits, including what kind of things you indulge in. This also includes your financial goals, mistakes, and expectations. To bring some transparency to this conversation, my wife and I openly discussed our finances early on. In fact, we signed up for and took Financial Peace University after a year of dating. We were not playing around about getting our finances under control well in advance of marriage. So a word to the wise, give yourselves a financial checkup. Getting a good grasp of your partner's spending habits and financial picture will help you make decisions around how to manage your money after you get married. Combine your finances. Now, there are many different ways you can approach money management. However, we believe you should combine your finances when you're married. Not only does it simplify how you manage your money, but it also allows you to move towards your goals jointly and keep each other accountable. Plus, it opens a whole new line of communication within your relationship that's really important to have. So if you were to ask me, a married man, that's what I'd say. However, you do have the right to do what you want to do. Create a budget you both can live by. Budgeting is a must if you want to manage your money properly, regardless if you're married or single. I'm sure that's something we all can agree on. However, when you are married, and I can say this from experience, it's important that the budget you create together is one you both can live by. So how do you do this? Well, it starts by sitting down together every month and talking about how much combined income you make and writing out exactly how you want to spend every dollar. When you take the time to do this, it's also important that you allow each other to have equal say in where the money goes. So talk about it, listen to each other, and make a final decision together. Now, in the months leading up to our wedding, my wife and I also discussed how we wanted to handle budgeting for fun money. So what we do in our marriage is we have one joint account that we share, and then we each have a fun money account that we budget a small allowance towards for each of us. Doing this has not only allowed us to stay focused on our money goals jointly, but also not neglect the fact that it's nice to have a few extra dollars every month that we can do whatever we want to do with without disrupting the big picture and the goals we set out to accomplish. Have a financial date. Now, in addition to sitting down together every month to write out our budget, we also set time aside to have financial date nights like we do traditional date nights. All this means is having additional money conversations outside of budget reviews and budget creations. So we tend to talk about future financial decisions and goals and expectations. We also dream together and create a vision and then backtrack to see what we need to do today to get there later. We really have fun and get into these conversations, and we found that doing these financial date nights has helped us stay on the same page financially and continue to be that accountability partner for the other person, as well as life partners. Live off of one income. The same way it's encouraged in the financial space to live below your means, it's also smart to live off of one income if you can. You see, most couples live their lives in a way that requires both of their incomes in order to cover their expenses. And this comes with a ton of stress, especially if one person gets laid off and loses their income altogether. Now, I get it if you currently can't do this, but if you can find a way to adjust your habits and lifestyle without dipping below the poverty line, then I highly encourage it. This method ensures that you're always saving for your future because all of your expenses are paid from one partner's paycheck, and then you can save and invest 100% of the other partner's paycheck. Keep purchases out in the open. Deceit and unfaithfulness are crucial things to avoid in any relationship, especially a marriage. And to be honest, this action doesn't just involve cheating. It also extends out to how you manage your money and your shared financial goals. If you open a credit card behind your partner's back or a separate bank account, or you try to hide purchases you're making, that's deceitful. You're being unfaithful financially within your relationship. So it's an absolute must that you're open and honest about all things money within your marriage so you don't start to lose financial trust within each other. Because once trust is gone, it's extremely hard to rebuild. Don't let salary differences come between you. For most couples, one person probably makes more money than the other. And regardless of how much money each of you make, it's really important that you continue to do money together and view the entire pot as our money. The last thing you want to do if you're the one who makes more is start to think you have leverage over your spouse, all because you have a few extra digits on your paycheck. The opposite is true if you're the one who makes less or stays home. You might feel like you don't have any leverage to speak up about the budget or where money should go, but you do. You both do. You see, when you work together and make decisions together, it will be a game changer for your money and your marriage. There's no reason to hold a higher income over the other person's head. You're a team, and you have to remember that. Change the pronouns you use. When you get married, everything goes from I and mine to we and ours. And it's important that you act and move together, especially when it comes to managing money. Funny story for you. A few months before we got married, my wife Alexis was already calling me her husband and using pronouns like we and ours in conversation with others. And I would always tease her about how we're not married yet. She's already calling me her husband. But fast forward to today, as I think back over those moments and laugh because at the time they were funny, I realize now that it was preparation for our new reality. Because the moment we said I do, our lives changed and everything we once knew was I and mine is now we and ours. I hope you found value in this conversation. And if I shared anything at all that really resonated with you, comment below so we can continue this conversation. Keep growing, keep learning, and always stay true to you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.